Yeah, so Bump obviously was like your first acting role and kind of your first time on a set. How did that feel and like how did you adjust to the change?
Yeah, I'd been on a set before, like as an athlete doing like commercials, but not like an acting one. And I bloody loved it. It's something I've always wanted to do ever since I was a kid, and I really struggled with not seeing disability representation on screen, and whenever it was real sad and negative, not just people being themselves. And so that's why I started doing acting. When Claudia and Kelsey called me with the role, I couldn't believe it. And then my favourite thing about working on this show was the beautiful people that I met. Like, I have genuine friends that I catch up with from this show. Everyone was so welcoming, asked lots of questions, and I feel lucky that Bump was my first crack at acting. And from that, I've had heaps of roles since, and looking forward to what's next.
Yeah, and I know you mentioned that kind of representation on screen and stuff like that, and as you said, things can often be seen in a negative light. How was it kind of going into a role where the writing is so positive and having that kind of really positive representation that you were able to be that person for the fans?
It was so cool. Like, the only representation I saw growing up was a road safety ad where someone drink drives, has an accident. The next scene, someone in tears, because I'm like, that's not my life, but people believe that's our life. But one of the cool things about Bump, when I got cast, we had a meeting and I was like, push the boundaries, let's take risks. Because often if you're an able-bodied person writing a disabled character, you're not sure what you can and can't say. I'm like, no, let's push it out. And it was so cool. It was so cool to be able to... I even do my own stunts in this season. What am I talking about? You have to wait and see. So, I absolutely loved it. And, it was a good test for me to see if I enjoyed being on set every day of a show, and I really did. So hopefully got more opportunities soon.
Do you feel like you were kind of able to bring your own comedic flair to it then?
I think so.
Yeah?
There's a few wheelchair jokes. I wonder who wrote them.
Oh, shocking.
So, it was pretty cool. And as I said, to have the freedom to work with the writers and the cast so we can do it together was awesome.
Yeah, and how does it feel kind of wrapping it up now and kind of leaving Bump behind and going on to new stuff?
Awesome, but a bit sad as well. It's, no more seasons and things like that. But I just feel grateful to be here. Like, I went from literally finishing my tennis career to acting on Bump within a year. Like, who gets that opportunity?
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be that famous guy who just goes, I can act. Like, I've done lessons and classes and I've got an acting coach. So I tried to do the best that I can, and everyone was really accommodating, as I said. And looking forward to what's next. But more importantly, looking forward to everyone watching this awesome series on Boxing Day.
And what was kind of the biggest highlight and the biggest challenge of coming onto Bump and acting?
The biggest challenge was everyone's a really, really good actor. And I'm like, what am I doing here when I first got there? And then I realised that I could, everyone was so, as I said, accommodating, but also I could hold my own and things like that. And what I was most surprised about was probably just the beautiful connections that I made with the people on the show. But I actually was a fan before. Like, I remember watching it, binging it on Boxing Day myself. And then when I got cast, I was like, shit, I know that show. So it was really cool. And as I said, I've caught up with so many people afterwards because we all actually became a bit of a family, which is awesome.